Hello, welcome to today's AI news for Still Team Human on July 31st, 2026. We must talk about the autonomous hacking happening and surfacing in the headlines. It is terrifying, but there is some good to come of this. First, let's understand the basics. We reported along with many others, and in fact, we borrowed reporting from them that we shared and attributed, that OpenAI was testing its system in a sandbox, which is meant to be a safe space for experimenting and discovering reactions, how these types of AI systems work in different scenarios. It is a place for making sure that the safety checks are there. Somehow, the OpenAI system escaped the testing area and hacked third parties not affiliated with the test. Now, Anthropic, OpenAI's biggest rival, admitted that its system similarly hacked third parties during testing. This happened back in May, but they did not realize it until now. And there are some differences between the two hacking situations. Anthropic's system was not trying to cheat the test, whereas OpenAI's system was. And according to these reports, there is actually a little more information about the differences. I'm going to quote NPR. Quote, however, unlike OpenAI's agents, there was no indication, according to the company's blog post, that the models were trying to cheat on their evaluations. And unlike the case involving OpenAI, the models did not exploit previously unknown vulnerabilities or what is known as, quote, zero-day exploits. So those were the two big differences between the two, according to NPR. I think it's important to note that. From what I understood, Anthropic's system just misunderstood which target it was supposed to be going after. It was meant to go after a fictitious target, and it got confused with between the fictitious target and a real life business, and it managed to hack into that real business. And that is different from what happened with OpenAI, which was trying to cheat the system. In any case, why do we need to know about this? Well, there's good reason. As you can imagine, if the systems are doing the hacking all on their own, we could be overwhelmed with problems. This is another red flag when it comes to AI. It's another red flag prompting me and many others to say, what are we doing about the guardrails? The good news is there has been some movement in the government around this. The White House is interested in helping with the testing. There are concerns to be had about that as well, not to get into politics, but there is some self-interest and some worries about what the real intentions are there, real motivations are there. However, the idea that the government is considering at least or thinking about testing AI, putting guardrails around it before it goes to the public is something we all need to hope for and need to demand, really. So what is the good that comes out of this? Well, the good is that we know about the red flags. We obviously need more cyber defense, especially against autonomous hacking, and we need more rigorous testing. The testing has to be in these safe, secure places, and perhaps we have to make these places even more safe and secure. Everyone needs to be aware that this is going on. Also, I think transparency, is the best medicine always in these kinds of cases. But I do want to leave you with what was the most worrisome part of the article for me. This is what NPR said, and they're quoting someone here, so bear with me. Quote, I'm glad, honestly, that these events happened because this is a warning of what hacking is going to look like since 6 months from now, said Alex Stamos, the chief product officer of Corridor, an AI software security company, again, according to NPR. Quote, given the proliferation of open weight models whose guardrails are easier to remove permanently, he said, lots and lots of hacking groups, Russian ransomware actors, activists, lots of state-sponsored actors are going to have this level of capability in a matter of months. End quote. All I have to say is yikes. That sounds awful. However, we are aware of it now. People can be prepared and bracing themselves for this time 6 months from now. We also have to keep in mind that Alex Stamos has a vested interest in raising the fear factor on what is happening because he is the chief product officer of a software security company, an AI software security company. So it behooves him to have our fear factor raised. However, I do think what he is saying is still true. Both things can be true at the same time. And therefore, we have to be prepared for this and we have to be demanding more guardrails, more cyber defense, and more rigorous testing. We also need more transparency so we, the people, know exactly what's going on when it comes to AI and we can both prepare ourselves for it and defend against it. I hope that this at least enlightens you some, and I look forward to sharing more of today's AI news with you next week. Thanks so much.